baby whippersnipper, 0. Can't even see. Rust. I don't know. Doggy, doggy, caca, caca.
Or jelly.
I don't eat custard.
I'll just have some jar.
Party they got us.
What?
Cash done that each time she's talked to me, she'll phone that.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that. Hey, you notice that you lot are all standing on the same side of the table? It goes mother, stepfather, stepmother, father. Get it? And here we have the Bagshore. Anyone wearing earphones when I did that would know about it by now. So that's that floats there. I don't know why they made that float there. How'd they do that?
That's not the grease you put in there yesterday, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the grease I put in there yesterday. Pushed out. Well, it probably pushed even dirty grease out too. But it was black grease I put in there. See, there's a
That's kind of green.
greeny
And that's yuck.
wheel bearing type grease. So yeah, I greased everything again yesterday after taking the wheels off, just to make sure it had plenty of grease in it, because it sat for a fair bit. Geez, that bearing there's flogged out. I have to make some. Anyhow. And yeah, tyres are pretty stuffed, so it is what it is. Well, one tyre's stuffed, the other one's too big. So yeah, they drive at different rates, so it clicks in a straight line until you start to skid one wheel, because when you put it in gear it's only technically driving off of one wheel till the other dog catches up and locks in.
Which way does this go? This way?
Yeah. Turns that way and pushes it from one end to the other. So yeah, I need to get 4 new tines for it. But these spring tines are easy to get for these ones apparently.
eBay.
I haven't, yeah, apparently they're on eBay. Here's the one for the 56 New Holland that's hard to get, because they're on a funny angle, I think. Although I always thought they were the same. I can't remember, I have to go have a look at it. Yeah, this here does your height.
And this here is my dad's wheel.
Sure is. And that one there does your height. I wouldn't push on it too hard, I haven't got it held very well. And this one here changes their pitch. So that's the pitch control, which I reckon we had all wrong. Because by the time that comes around to the bottom, see how they're at the bottom there, they're forward. I reckon they needed to be a bit straighter. So we probably should have changed the camming in there. Inside that planetary to get the arms to come out a bit different. Yeah, because by rotating that, it rotates these to a different location. Just a little bit, because it puts this and this off. This part and this part coming around at a different rate. Well, same rate, but different position. But yeah, I'll play with that next year, because I think all that hay work is done this year. And no doubt I'll have to do it again next year. Which I don't mind. It was only, what, 10 acres? Well, we only did half of it, so.
5 acres.
Yeah, and we had 2 rakes out, so we smashed it out.
5 acres every year.
5 acres every year. Oh yeah.
Feed the sheep.
Well, there you go. So yeah. Some new tyres and should be good. Well, I got some second-hand tyres off of a trailer. So yeah. Doesn't seem to matter how much oil you put on that chain, it seems to always rub off. And that chain there. Oh well. Even motorcycle oil, chain oil. Oh, I got the hiccups. Oh well, it's all got grease. Out for now. Drop. More toys. Let me first walk around this one. I haven't seen it since Uncle Dad's got it. Well, since he got it. I haven't seen it at all. Like I said, more toys. We got another drop at home. I don't know what, probably a TD4 or a TD6. Not even sure what this one is. An ID plate's missing. Good on it. Yeah, I'd say it's another TD4. 4? 6? I don't know. I think it's the same as the other one. Jeez, it's got no bloody tracks left, has it? Neither's the one that's coming up the road. That one there that's coming at 9, that's got the same engine as our 650 McCormick tractor. I don't know where he's going to park it. That old Thames down there, that's Grandpa's, but it should really come home. This is a neighbour's place that we're on. Do a lot of work. Oh, he's parking down there. Well, we'll go see him. You're being videoed again, Des. Said you're being videoed again. Yeah, I know, you bloody hate it, don't you?
Yep. The alternator or generator, whatever it's got, must be charging because it's keeping the battery topped up.
Oh, yeah. I can't even see what it's got myself. I just got the pedal box out. Decided cutting it out wasn't going to be an option. And there it is sitting there. That's the firewall side. That's where the clutch slave bolts to. And there's 3 bolts here. They're up behind the air conditioner vent. So there's that. Throttle cable. Throttle pedal. Clutch master. And a whole heap of bits. So there's that. And that other dozer that was up there, that yellow one, that drop, that's a BT D8. So yeah, whereas the other one's a TD. So the TD, the red one that we saw driving up the driveway that Des was on, the 9, that's petrol diesel. So a lot of people are like, what? And it's like, yeah, it's got a pre-combustion chamber. Well, I think it's the same pre-combustion chamber that the injectors squirt into, and I can't remember what valve. It must be the inlet valve for the diesel engine that holds open, and uses a little valve in the head. So they've got 3 valve heads to open from this pre-combustion chamber into the big combustion chamber when it's running on petrol. I was putting some of my tools away here. You never thought you'd hear me say that. Yeah. So yeah, to make it run on petrol. So yeah, to decompress it. So yeah, there's an inlet manifold with a carby on one side that does that, and it does air inlet as well when it's running on diesel, and on the other side there's a set of injector pumps, or an injector pump, and yeah. So you've got distributor on one side, spark plugs, and then you've got injectors on the other side with injector pump. Complicated but easy, until something goes wrong. So yeah, and I think there's a flapper valve in the manifold, so that when you switch it over the diesel, it shuts the butterflies all off, and that stops it sucking any residual petrol out of that fuel system there through the carby, so it doesn't knock when it's running on diesel. So yeah, so there's that. And I believe if they ever get stuck, those butterflies, you know how you pour a bit of petrol down the intake of a diesel and you fire it up in a cold day? But it does that little knock, 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 except for, yeah, much worse. Yeah, so there's that. So that cab's ready to get rid of. I think I've scabbed everything I can retrieve out of it, apart from a handbrake cable, which I've just got to undo tomorrow when I've got a couple of people here, we'll prop it up and I'll undo that. So that gets out of here, so I'm back to playing with this old ute a bit, and that cab can go for scrap. And then I think tomorrow we're cutting trees in Balaclava. I'm going to be climbing it. Sunday we're going to go to Catalunga and do another tree. I don't know who's going to climb that one. Yeah. And that's as long as I can climb it. So yeah, anyway. I had a pretty busy day today, and I noticed my hand was giving me a bit of trouble, but all good, we'll do it, I'll survive. Yeah. And of course, yeah, that's for content for another video. So tomorrow, if I get a chance, I might lift this out. If I get a chance, got a Fergie tractor to pick up. Yeah, we got it as far as the neighbour's house. It was overheating. The water is like chocolate milk. It's like iced coffee or chocolate milk that's gone off. It's even lumpy, I'd say, almost. So, yeah, it does charge. It floods. So it's a TED. It's supposed to be a TED 20. So fairly late. Red bonnet instead of Battleship Grey. And red guards. Ferguson tractor. So we started driving it home, and it was overheating. I'm like, well, we'll limp it to Ashley's place. And then it had a fuel block from the tank, so the screen in the bowl of the fuel tap. That's what we're thinking. And then that came good, and then all of a sudden it started to flood. And it wouldn't stop flooding, so that, yeah. And that and the starter motor, the Bendix is dicky. And it almost sounds a bit valvey, because when I started flooding, I was tuning a low mixture, trying to see if I could tune that little chuff, chuff, chuff out, because sometimes you can. And that'll tell you, obviously, whether it's an air leak or
or a valve that's not sealing. But it started to flood and stopped, and then the starter motor would only go grrrr, it wouldn't actually lock in. And it's some aftermarket thing, and I don't know why they would have taken it apart, because even the old 6-volt ones are built heavy enough for 12 volt, and you're not on them long enough to get them hot anyway. You 2 or 3 compressions, yeah, it'll fire under choking, you push the choke in, worst case scenario, and it'll fire up. With mine, I hardly ever use the choke. Probably the first time, first time in the day. You never use it after that. And this has got a different carby to mine. Mine's got a Zenith carby on it, which is similar to, what was the same? One of the motor cars, I think, had a Zenith carby on it. Was it a Volkswagen? It looked much the same. I can't remember. Or it might have been an early Vanguard motor car. Anyhow, this has got some other weird thing on it. So yeah, I've got to go right through it because it blocked the jet as well. Which I did retrieve once already when I was trying to fire it up, because I wound the jet all the way in, the main jet, and then wound it out, and yeah, a whole heap of crud came out. And I wound it back in a couple of turns until it ran. So yeah, needs panel beating, painting, all the oil's leaked out, so, well, not all of it, we filled it back up today, but some of the oil leaked out, so it's as black as Ace of Spades. So you'll see that when I bring that home, because that's coming here hopefully tomorrow or the next day, depending on how we go with our trees. And yeah, we can't work all the time. We've got to leave time for taking the rifles out and go shooting. So we've got there's a hot water service that we sometimes shoot at in the creek, and what else? We've got a big piece of wood there. Well, it's a big wheel off of it. Well, it's not that big. It's a 30-inch wheel off of a tree that we've been shooting at. We're sticking paper to it, drawing targets and things. And yeah. So yeah, that'll be pretty good. I've fixed up my shotgun. Well, one of them, the single barrel. That's fixed, ready to go. Before I varnish the stock or anything, or do any work to make it look pretty, I'll take it out and see if it breaks. If it cracks again, I'll have to get another stock. So there's that. And I've got a double barrel 12 gauge side by side, which is missing the bead off the end, and the safety's stuck, and the pins get jammed out every now and again. So if they're not retracted, when you shut it, they go off in your hand, as we found out. So yeah. It came from a winery, well they both did, they came from the same winery. We reckon that the single barrel's been dropped off of a motorcycle or an ATV and damaged, hence the cracked stock. And there must be wine juice or something, grape juice through the other shotgun, because the only reason that those pins are getting stuck is probably because they were sticky. And the ejector looks like someone's opened it with that pin out, or shut it, probably opened it and bent it up a little bit. So yeah, if I can't get any sense out of it, I've got there's a gunsmith in Auburn that will, yeah, apparently he's the bee's knees to get things done. So yeah, take it up to him and get him to go through it. So yeah. I have used it, you just got to be mindful that, check that all the firing pins are pulled back in. Yeah, you know, if you're a bit smart, you know, I'm not saying remove all bloody warning labels, but maybe we should just let natural selection see what happens. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah. So there's something different. So yeah, something to get, you know, feral pigeons with, things like that. So yeah. Anywho, I'm going to go in. I think I'm ready for tomorrow. I've got one of the mini Macs in the Suzuki, and I've got my MS 170 in the Suzuki. My 180 plant. We did firewood today and we cut 3 little trees down. Well, I suppose it was that small, but small enough. Yeah. And I'm not happy with my 180, but we've determined that it's not running yet. And it's still tight as, because it doesn't scream like Dad's does. Like old man's does, so yeah. So there's that. And they reckon that the Poland, the micro, they reckon that needs a muffler. I looked at old man and said, well, it was built when you were about 10, so muffler technology probably wasn't thought of back then. It was like, get the gases out that way and that's good. And get some engine performance, we don't care about your hearing. So yeah, there's that. Oh, we got a freebie. We got that from the lady that we got the tractor from today. So yeah, and we found in the carryall for the tractor, there's a carby kit there, like a floating needle and a body. It's got that round black carby on it. So yeah, side throw Victor. Someone would have paid big dollars for that back in the day. So we'll add that to the collection. Actually, if this engine is knackered, we've got a twin cylinder engine which uses that carby. I kind of hope now that this engine is stuffed, because I would much rather see a twin cylinder engine on here, because all the blade carrier is the same and the bolt patterns are the same. You could put it to use. So yeah, anyway, they don't make stuff like this. This is after they were bought out by Briggs and Stratton, and they had their influence, and honestly from here on in, this is probably the last of the good ones. Anything later than this is rubbish. So yeah, they don't make them like they used to. I mean, this is probably done. Look at the wheels. How often do you see wheels that... I've seen these with no treads left. So, you know, if you can do that to a lawnmower, it's obviously worth its weight in gold. So there's that. Yeah. Anywho, all is good, and I think I'm going to be out for now. Well, this is for my shotgun that we picked up the other day. And as you can see, it's got a nice crack in there. So yeah, I'm going to try and glue it up and put it in the vise. But wish me some luck. We don't need that there. Yeah. So obviously last Saturday we told everyone that in May we're going to have a baby. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. So yeah, and we picked up 2 shotguns. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was actually what day was it? Must have been Tuesday. Yeah, that's right, Tuesday. Anywho, this one's a single barrel. It's 12 gauge, full choke. It beats like a mule, so even for me, I'm thinking about putting one of them dampers on it, because my shoulder drills. Well, it's not doing too bad this morning, but it's hurting. And tomorrow's is all bruised. And we might sand this one later. We might not do it today, so it doesn't matter if I get this to run around. Oh, surely that's mixed far enough.
just Arrow Diet. These are Shane's instructions. I'm making a YouTube video tomorrow. You can join in. Hopefully that runs in there. I've only got 5 minutes to get this to do what it's got to do. Don't care if I've got to sand all that off. Because it's gonna set.
It's just one down there.
That's alright. That'll be alright. So I'm gonna get it in the crack. And then I can close it up in the vise. And then we have another shotgun. I can sand all that out later. I think that's going to work perfectly.
Well, if you just open it up and close it a couple more times to try and like work it in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in there. Pretty sure it's in there. Just as long as that's closed. Yeah. That looks good. So what's tomorrow got to say about all this?
I don't know.
Don't point that thing at me.
Too much.
Pretty much. How's your shoulder this morning?
Sore.
Sore. Mine's achy.
Bruised though.
Yeah, I don't. Or do I?
No.
No. So you're the only one with a bruise.
I do. Somewhere.
Somewhere. Right there.
I'm warming up for that.
There you go. So it does boot like a meal. I'll be back in a minute.